If you're looking for the perfect base for exploring the Cinque Terre, you've got options. We've already shown you Rapallo. Now meet our other favorite, Levanto. This charming town is the first stop north of the Cinque Terre, and honestly, it's got a lot in common with its more famous neighbors. Think colorful buildings, a relaxed pedestrian center, a beach that could make you forget what day it is, and a ferry dock that'll whisk you to all 5 Cinque Terre villages. In the next few minutes, we'll walk you through part of Levanto Old Town, show you the kind of food that will ruin you for all other pesto, and tell you why this could be the perfect spot to base yourself, or even move to. And right now, we are in the Old Town, near the sea. This is a short visit, but trust me, 8 minutes is all it takes to fall in love with Levanto. Here's the thing about Levanto. It's the kind of place that doesn't try too hard. You'll find it tucked on the Ligurian coast, just northwest of Monterosso al Mare. The train ride from Genoa is just under 2 hours. And from La Spezia, barely 30 minutes. And yes, there's even a ferry. It's small, with a population just over 5,000, and this means you actually start recognizing faces after a few days. This is the seafront and the beach, late in the afternoon, when the sun makes the water look like liquid blue and gold. Why is it a perfect base? Well, you get the same Mediterranean charm, great food, and access to the Cinque Terre, without the packed to the gills crowds or the suitcase hauling uphill drama. Let's talk about the hotels here. Mid-range will run you about 120 to 150 euros a night in May. In high summer, think closer to 200. But in case you fall in love with this town, and are thinking to move here, you're looking at around 4,000 to 5,000 euros per square meter, to buy a home here, which, for Italy's coast, is not insane. And yes, I have checked. More than once. The beach here isn't one of those tiny rocky strips you find in the Cinque Terre. Levanto's beach is wide, sandy in parts, and stretches out in a beautiful curve. You've got paved sections with loungers, and free areas where you can just throw down a towel. The water is clear, calm in the morning, with just enough waves in the afternoon to make it interesting. Levanto is not just about the sea. There's the Villa Paola Strelli, with its gardens that feel like a private movie set. The town has been around since Roman times, but its big moment came in the Middle Ages when it became a maritime hub. You can still see traces of that wealth in the gorgeous villas and the old loggia by the sea. You'll stumble upon the Church of Sant'Andrea, a Gothic beauty with black and white stripes that make it look like it's wearing a tuxedo. And if you're into cycling, there's an old railway tunnel, turned bike path, that runs along the coast to Bonasola. And then, you've got those quiet back lanes, where time slows down. You hear a church bell, smell fresh focaccia, and for a moment, everything else just fades. Locals call this spot La Pietra, and it's basically Levanto's natural viewing platform. From there, you get an unbeatable panorama of the entire bay, pastel houses lining the shore, and the wide beach curving like a crescent. If you're here in June, you might catch the Infiorata festival, where the streets get carpeted in flower designs so detailed, you almost feel bad walking on them. Almost. There's also the old medieval loggia, an important historical building located in the town's historic center. It's known for its medieval architecture and its role as a former center of commerce. By 7 p.m. in May, the sun was still hanging high, casting that warm glow photographers get way too excited about. We wander the promenade, watch kids chasing each other, and just breathe it in. Levanto isn't huge, just over 38 square kilometers, home to around 5,400 people. But it's one of those places where you can cross the main square 3 times a day and still find something new. The Bay of Levanto is one of the largest sandy beaches on this stretch of the Ligurian coast, which explains why Italians flock here in summer with kids, umbrellas, and picnic baskets. Levanto is more than a base. It's a place to exhale after the climb, to sip your coffee a little slower, to watch the light change on the water without rushing to the next big thing. And maybe that's the perfect ending to our Cinque Terre journey, the reminder that travel isn't just about ticking off the famous spots. It's also about finding the in-between places, the ones that surprise you by being exactly where you needed to be. If you have not watched our mini-series where we explore the 5 villages of the Cinque Terre, I'll leave a link to each one of them in the description section. Make sure you watch them, as they will totally give you a different perspective of the Italian Riviera. Oh look! A rainbow in the background. At the end of the road, there is a restaurant, and it is where we will have dinner tonight. You can't talk about Liguria without mentioning pesto. Levanto's pesto is bright, fresh, and heavy on the basil. Try it on trophy pasta and you'll start planning your second plate halfway through the first. But today, I was craving for a nice steak, and my husband wanted to try the squid ink pasta. And we finished off with house-made dessert. We ended dinner around 8:30 p.m. But it was still bright, and we decided to walk to the beach, to catch the sunset, before driving back to our hotel in Rapallo. Here's the thing, travel days can be busy, but it's moments like this that stick with you. The ones where you stop, breathe, and realize you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And with that, our Cinque Terre journey comes to an end. But the road doesn't stop here, there's always another view, another story, another sunset waiting. I'll see you there.